I've got one question for you. Are you ready to get your game on?
The longest-running off-road and action motorsports radio show on the planet is coming to you live with the biggest guest in motorsports. Here is the only man on the planet who can pack this much dirt slinging and tire slaying into 2 hours a week. Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to get your ears blown. Here is Jim Beaver and the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, and man, it has been a great weekend for me, taking in a ton of motorsports. But before we get to that, definitely want to thank all of our partners that make this show happen. Obviously, Polaris Razor, General Tire, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish Rally School, UPR.com, Blue Water Resort and Casino, JMR Brakes, KMC Wheels, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, the official audio partner of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. They're the ones that make the show happen each and every week. Got to give a big shout out to them. But on my front, yeah, I traveled up to Oregon Trail Rally, and I got to tell you, an absolute epic battle happened there in the open class. Made it interesting for a few days, man, and we'll definitely get into that. But tons and tons of racing action over the weekend. We got the General Tire Norra 1000 happening, the Torc kickoff, Lucas Oil round number 2. We had World Rallycross kickoff. We had WRC. We had Supercross. You want to talk about a packed show? We've got all those events to cover, and then to kick things off here in just a few minutes, I've got an interview with the one, the only Jason Ellis. That's right, Ellis, mate. I had the opportunity to catch up with him last week, and we cut a pretty awesome interview. We're going to cut to in just a few minutes. You guys are going to love it. Talked a little bit of motorsports, a little bit of action sports, a little bit of life. And if you know Jason Ellis, you know his interviews are absolutely awesome and must listen to. So stoked to have Jason Ellis be a part of this show. And then, not only Jason Ellis, I mean, you look at our lineup today, Matt Crafton, NASCAR truck champ 2 times, the defending NASCAR truck champ. And it gets better than that. You guys are wondering, why is Jimmy having a NASCAR truck champ on air? He raced Torc last weekend in the Torc kickoff there in Texas. We've got an interview with Matt Crafton. I was able to record it before he got into the truck. Awesome interview with Matt Crafton. And then the one, the only Chip Ganassi, motorsports legend. I caught up with Chip Ganassi at GRC Media Day, and we got an interview with Chip we're going to air, and he talks about their dive into rallycross, and you're going to be surprised. But Chip Ganassi, he's a little bit of a motocross fan, and he may or may not have done a shade mission and pre-run the Baja 500 course. That's right, Chip Ganassi loves him some dirt bikes. So we're definitely going to get to that. I got to say though, I am flying solo today. My sidekick, as she is each and every week, Amy Hood. Her last segment, the last 30 minutes a day, I'm covering Supercross on my own today. She's up there in Canada, supposed to get her wisdom teeth taken out yesterday. They had some kind of I don't know what happened. We're going to have to catch up with her next week. But anyway, she's got obligations today, so I am flying solo on this special Tuesday edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. But we have a great show, a ton of content, packing it in to 2 hours here at the Down and Dirty Radio Show, and super stoked for that. And, I forgot we got one other guest as well, Clifton Wayne with the Down and Dirty Clothing Company. We're going to get to an interview with him, company that obviously shares a name with this radio show. So we thought, hey, we'll reach out and we'll make things happen. So we got Clifton Wayne. He's gonna be on air as well. So a great lineup of guests today. I don't know if we've ever had a lineup as big. I mean, Jason Ellis, Chip Ganassi, Matt Crafton. I mean, it's definitely going to be a solid gold today with our guests. And, speaking of guests, I guess we should pop over to that Jason Ellis interview as we speak. Here's Jason Ellis. All right, I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line. Needs no introduction, a guy I've got a ton of respect for, who is currently walking to a rental car agency, Mr. Jason Ellis.
Yay!
Yeah, man. So, you got to let him in on this because, we were talking before you got on air. That's a hell of a story you got.
Yeah, I might have accidentally crashed my car. I don't really want to get into what that one is, but then my girlfriend lent her car to a friend, and it got written off. Everyone's okay, but it got written off. And then I took my girlfriend to a movie in my truck because that's all I got left. And the valet washed my truck. And for $25, they rearranged my seats so that the power seats don't move backwards and you can't get in the car. So I'm walking to go get that bad boy right now.
Yeah, you're putting in the cardio, right? That's
that's a lovely stroll down Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah,
Great time.
for sure. Good thing it's not at night, man. You never know what'll happen, right?
Well, I look just as creepy as anybody else, so nobody fucks with me. Wait, am I allowed to say that word? Sorry.
No, it's all right, man. We get so many guests in here. We bleep a lot of stuff before it hits AM and FM. So no worries, man.
Good. I can do it. I just need to know whether I can or I can't. I got kids. I can switch off the F-bomb.
No, let them flow, man. Let them flow. That's what we love about the show. Just let them flow, dude. So, I wanted to, it's been a while. I wanted to get you on air and snag you and, just talk a little bit of everything, man. It's you always got so much stuff going on. And, I know Ellis Mania 10 just wrapped up and, you've got a new thing called Jump for Charity going on. But I'd like to talk about Ellis Mania 10 for a second because I got to tell you, you kind of got, I call it, the Gymkhana effect going on that Ken Block created, where you start one, and you always got to up yourself, and you get to a point where it's like, what the hell do I do, man? I'm what do we do next?
Well, look, I remember a long time ago that in skateboarding, I figured there'll be a certain level that we'd all get to, and then we would just, it would end, but I remember when I was maybe 17, and I could imagine that when I was 27, someone did a blunter fakie in front of me on vert. I would have said that's impossible, but apparently that's child's play. So anything can happen, and I believe after the last fight that I had, it just told me that, this is your gig, Jason. You started this shit, so you have to step up. So to me, I just train harder, and I hang out with real MMA fighters so that I can match them and maybe not die, because I'm sure that in October, Ellis Mania 11, I'm probably going to fight 20 people or somebody. It's never going to win. I just got to be in shape. I've got to be prepared for it. I believe I've got like 10 more years of fighting in me, and then maybe Ellis Mania can. I'll just watch.
Yeah. Do you feel like the fighting is easier on your body than the skateboarding was? You've had so many surgeries, it's just ridiculous. With the level of training you've got, what's easier for you to recover from, a fight or a big spill?
Well, it depends on who you're fighting, man. Every now and then the better you get in skateboarding, the better you get. It's pretty rare in skateboarding to get really knocked out to the point where you're not exactly you ever again. And in fighting, you catch that wrong guy. It's not everybody, but there's way more people in MMA that have caught a knee to the face when they're shooting in that, I know a lot of pro boxers are not that smart. Pro skateboarders were never that smart to begin with, so it's hard to judge, but I'm pretty sure the brain damage is the fighting world, and the skateboard world is the body damage. It's the ligaments and the arthritis and So I have both. I have brain damage and arthritis. I'm a super smart guy.
Yeah. Most of the brain damage that came from skateboarding was shit after the fact. The guys were doing it at night, right?
No. Getting knocked out like 15 times on a skateboard, I'm pretty sure that had something to do with it, too.
So, you got so much going on. A Jump for Charity just announced. Talk a little bit about that, because I definitely want to give that a plug. You got something pretty cool going on there.
Well, I only started it today. I just noticed on vacation I got really drunk and put my girlfriend's bikini on, and I got the second most likes I've ever had on Instagram. So then I thought, why don't I wear that bikini and jump something because jumping is cool in Instagram, and I just want to entertain people, and apparently they're very entertained by me in a bikini, so why don't I put them together and make some money for a good charity, which is my dear friend Tony Hawk charity, because I know that it frees kids from what they were going to do on the streets, and they fall in love with the skateboard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're kind of like me. You ever just start brainstorming stuff up and talk and go, what the hell did I get myself into? You know, it's one of those things.
Constantly.
Some of the best ideas come from that, though, right?
You got to pull the trigger, man. To me, you go do it, and I go, yes. I don't think about it. I just say yes, and then I deal with the consequences later, because I mean, I just don't want to die without trying everything. So if I'm really terrified, and usually I am, almost every Ellis Mania, right before I get in there, I'm like, oh my God, dude, what are you doing? And then everything's rosy at the end. You know, after skateboarding that life of being beat up that many times and waking up on the ground with my arms broken, MMA doesn't faze me. I don't. The entertainment factor, you mean? I never thought I'd ever accomplish this much or mean this much to anybody. I owe them. You know what I mean? If I have to get brain damage and break my bones, I used to do it for fun, but now I'm doing it for people that really give a shit. So it's easier to me now. I'm scared of my ex-wife, scared of police, but I ain't scared of pain.
Yeah, you've experienced so much pain that it's just kind of another day now, right?
Yeah, well, it used to be another day. Now when you're older, it hurts more. And painkillers are nowhere near as much fun as they used to be. Yeah, they just make me angry. So there's no highlight. There used to be like, when I would skate, I remember there were certain tricks. I was like, man, 50-50. You're either dead or you're rolling away. And I'm like, plus side, if you don't roll away, you get Vicodins. Like, I really would say that to myself before I would jump in. I'm like, it's a win-win. Now, there's no win in crashing. I'm 43. It fucking hurts. And I don't want to do any painkillers. And the ache, it doesn't heal. It takes longer. I'm looking at, like, MMA bruises, little extra brain damage. But I really try to stay safe on my dirt bike, which is really the stupidest thing I've said so far in this interview. But I try not to go through major catastrophic injuries anymore.
Yeah. I know how that is on a dirt bike, though, man. You get on there and you're like, I'm just going to go out for a cruise. It's fun to get on the bike and just go out and ride. And then pretty soon you see something and, I got to hit that. And pretty soon you're like, man, I thought I was going out here just for an easy day at the track or on the bike. And, you know, that shit hits the fan immediately, right?
Yeah. At least one time, every time I go, there's a little flash of my life. Every time I go ride, there's a little, I'm cruising, a little slip. I'm like, woo! Oh. But that's why you live. I mean, that's why I live, man. That rush, that was a close one, you know? I live for that close one.
Yeah, for sure. So you feel like I got to ask you, you know, kind of about the radio thing and you know, and how you got started, because we all kind of know the background. I know me, it was one of those, I didn't have a background in radio. I just kind of got thrown into it and dropped in my lap, and here we go, you know, four years later. But, you know, with you, I mean, do you feel like radio, in a sense, I mean, definitely added some years onto your life? I mean, you know, how did everything come about with Tony and you know, and you getting involved with radio and you know, and how things have taken off?
That's all Tony. I mean, I thought when I retired, I knew that I was never going to be good at business or selling T-shirts. But I mean, at that time, I wasn't sure if I was even. I figured I would just go back to Australia and dig holes for a living, or I really didn't see a lot. I never expected anything too promising in my life. After skateboarding, I figured I already got what's coming to me. That was a very fortunate life to have. So Tony it was all Tony's idea. Me and him are friends, and he knew of me to be a funny, quick-witted man, and he actually told me on his 20th radio show anniversary that he knew that I had the potential to be a great radio host and picked me for not just to be his, like, sidekick, but to be a radio host in the future without him, which is pretty crazy because I did not know that I didn't make my decision that I was going to be the best guy in radio until after the Tony Hawk show. I was just there making jokes. Apparently he knew it all along.
Wow. And, and I got to say, talking about radio and you on your show, you've interviewed just about everybody, but I find it kind of funny because the one guy that makes you nervous is every time you go on the Howard Stern show, and there's something about it that all of a sudden, you just, it's like you kind of get a little squirrely, huh?
I think things have changed. I think there was a time there where I looked up to him so much and I was in his world and being on there was like, surreal, and it was a different way I looked at radio then too. It was like life or death to me, like I think I still have a lot of mental things that I have to deal with, but at that point I was really, really insecure, and for me to get approval from not like one of the people I looked up to, the only person I looked up to in radio, as far as I'm concerned, I was like, radio is full of assholes, it's full of shit. This guy's the only dude that actually talks normal. So he was the only person I looked up to. There was nobody that could really tell me I was good that were going to make me feel good. It was only him. And he doesn't like my show. But at this point, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fans that I've earned, like, they're like family to me. I literally don't care anymore. There used to be so much more to prove. I was like, I need a TV show or a movie, or I need to be an actor, I need to do stunts, my band needs to sell more, like, albums. Like, I wasn't even a real band. I was just, like, on this momentum of trying to keep conquering things and prove to people that I'm worth it and I'm likable. It's really quite a sad reason to try so hard.
Yeah. You're pretty much at peace with it now and just happy with the way things are then.
I wouldn't say exactly, but I'd say fucking, like, 90% closer than I was when I started, that's for sure. Because I actually found out the other day that I didn't think he liked me at all. But he's actually going to have me back on the show. And I was like, whoa, crazy. But to me, going in now to then, I thought if I did good, that he would give my show a chance and that I would have a job. I had not, as far as I was concerned, defined myself as a radio host yet. I was still in the balance of just fading away into nowhere. I feel like, I believe in my talent and my drive a lot more than I did. And I'm like, look, even if the king of all media doesn't like me, I'm going to be just fine. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to those. Used to be really terrifying interviews, like more stressful than a skateboard contest when I was good at it. More stressful than the first race I ever had, which was really stressful because I didn't know what I was doing at all.
Well, we'll definitely get to talking about some racing here in a minute, but I got to ask you, I mean, with the way action sports have grown and you look at even on the auto racing side of things, but specifically, like skateboarding, I mean, I look at a guy like you and Dyrdek and do you feel like, as you kind of grow to a certain point where you've hit that that ceiling in skateboarding, do you feel like doing the media type of thing, I mean, and having an outlet is kind of what you have to do to continue to draw a check?
Well, the media thing is not the important thing. It's the outlet is the important thing. I mean, when I realized that I wasn't going to win, and not only was I not going to win, but I probably wasn't even going to make top 5, and I kept getting hurt, I knew this was going to end, man. And I got into mixed martial arts. Tony made me a co-host, but at that time, me having my own show was hysterical. That wasn't going to happen. Yeah. I was just on his show getting $500 every time I was on the show, which I thought was awesome. And I was thinking, what are you going to do? You're going to get some kind of interviewing gig for ESPN, or so. I really didn't know what I was going to do until it was sort of my father passed away, and my girlfriend got pregnant, and what else happened? I had my skateboard manager that didn't pay my taxes for 5 years, and I didn't know because they did like everything in-house, and I owed all this money, and I had to sell my house, and then my little brother died. So it was like a bunch of stuff that happened all in a short period of time, in about a year, really, all that happened, where I was like, I've had epiphanies in my life before where, I left Australia to be a pro skateboarder, and I wasn't coming back. And I got it because it wasn't some fucking pipe dream. It was a real thing that I had and a real experience. And at that point, there was a time there where I was looking at the sky, and I'm like, I don't believe in God. I mean, Dad and my brother died so recently. Maybe they can help me out here. But it was a confusing time. But I remember thinking, if you get another shot, dude, because you pretty much fucked this one, you get another shot. Come hard, like never back off. Because in skateboarding, I backed off. I got bored. I went partying. I was more interested in getting laid, and I paid for it. I mean, there's guys that are in the top 3 right now that I used to beat still, and I'm like terrible now. So, to me, the radio, listening to Stern, Tony giving me that encouragement that I was funny and then serious, saying, "Dude, you have a real talent here." That kind of made me go, I can't believe you got a second chance at having a, what I call, no-job job. You know what I mean? Like, I got a skateboard job. Trust me, man. No money. I was still going to go to the fucking ramp. And same with the radio. I mean, once I found it, I was, like, addicted to it. I want to come home. I want to go back to work. When I walk the streets, everything is a story to me for the radio tomorrow. Like, it's an obsession.
Yeah.
It's the only way it works.
Yeah. Totally get that. Well, I got to ask you, talking about, skateboarding and coming to the United States, I mean, what was it, the first time you stepped foot on U.S. soil? I mean, was it just like, hey, I'm here and I've made it? Yep,
completely. It was actually, when I think of all the other things that have happened since then that are far more special and really ridiculously fortunate, getting off the plane and seeing the real America, the American air, the cars, people on the wrong side of the road, the haircuts. I have never been more excited to be anywhere in my life. It was truly a historical, like, romance. I fucking love this country. Like, I love it. I'm never going home, ever. It's not even home anymore. I gotta actually figure out how to say that. This is home.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask you, before we transfer into talking some motorsports, when was the last time you were on a skateboard?
I skateboard with my son in the parking lot, like, every couple of days.
Okay.
But I don't, like, skate. I got pads and stuff. I plan on going somewhere. I just don't really have any friends. And if I go to that Venice Park, it's kind of like, meh. It's not that much fun. I'm a vert ramp guy. If there was a vert ramp in L.A., I'd ride, like, 2 days a week. I love doing Smith grinds and backs of theirs. I'm just not a pool guy. I'm not a ledge guy. I don't want to go downstairs. I like vert ramps, and I live in the only city, unless you're Sean White, without a vert ramp.
Oh man,
so that's it. Maybe when I make Howard Stern money, then I'll have a ramp in my backyard. But until then, I'm just gonna have to watch videos.
For sure. Well,
my son thinks I'm great. He thinks I'm still a very good skateboarder. He has no idea.
Yeah, well, I found it interesting. This is way back when you were on his show and you guys got in a fight over, what was it, America's Got Talent, and a bunch of skateboarders on America's Got Talent. I was just laughing because I totally understand where you're, me with my action sports upbringing and off-road and that type of thing. I just laugh because I'm like, he just didn't get it,
No, because well, you're going to try and make me say something that I'm going to regret, but hey, everybody has their day. You're 60, you don't know exactly what's going on with the kids. Same as there's freaking 20-year-olds that talk away where I'm like, I don't fucking know. This is just the way of the world.
Yeah, for sure. So, talking about, you were talking about being in an off-road truck and stuff like that and being scared. I mean, what was it, a couple years back? I know you did a super light with Lucas Oil in the Lucas Oil series.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, my MMA sponsor decided to pay a ridiculous amount for me to be a race car driver for an entire season. And I'm like one of those guys that rides moto. I have since I was a little kid, but I never raced professionally. I just rode dirt bikes, and every time I went to a go-kart track, I usually won, as in a shitty, like, for a kid, go-kart track. So I figured I'd be all right. I always loved driving, and then I realized real quick that I don't know shit about driving a car in the dirt and how to not let it tip over and how to pitch it and pick lines and look up, and I'm like, oh my God, did I get thrown into this? So, yeah, I got a lot of balls, but I had no talent at all, so I crashed a lot. I got, like, some concussions. it was a scary year. It's kind of a sad year. As I said, I hate losing, man. Like, somebody just asked me today, Rashad Evans said, were you nervous about fighting those 10 people? And I'm like, nah. I'm nervous about fighting a real fighter where it's like I can possibly lose. I don't care about getting hurt. I just don't want to lose. And in that race, I was just in the back of the pack going, wait, what's going on? Why am I so bad? So it was terrible. But I learned a lot. But at the end, by the time I kind of figured it out, they were like, well, thanks for being here, but you are too expensive. You crash too much. You
finally hit your groove and they took it away, right?
Yeah. But look, I got a shot. I got a shot of something that not many people get a shot of. I mean, I didn't pay for that car. Somebody else did. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are talking here for a radio skateboard asshole to go burn around the track all weekend. I ain't complaining. And in the end, I paid for sprint car school, and I hung out with, I learned a lot there. But that car is not the car that I was racing in, so I kind of learned a lot of habits for like a Pro 2 that I never sat in. Yeah. Because that Pro Light really didn't have any horses. Yeah, it was like more of a momentum thing. You can't really get that sideways. And I was just pitching it in corners and rolling around the corner. Someone told me. I didn't know.
Yeah. You had more fun than anybody on the track, though, right?
I disagree. I think winning is way more fun than rolling down the track.
Yeah, well, and I know, that wasn't the end of it, though, because last year you started doing some Terracross, right?
Yeah, thanks to Justin Dawes, I got myself a little Terracross deal, and then from that I turned into Polaris and IMG Motorsports. Motorsports got me my actual own razor, and then all those guys at IMG and Four Wheel Magazine, they put in money to make that thing a real race car, and I've been learning, getting faster and faster. It's funny to realize now that this is where I should have been. Like, this is where you learn how to drive a car, not, that step up. So I'm glad I'm down here with all these other people, and I'm learning a little bit more every day. I went the track out the other day, so I actually got my lap times up to, like, the fastest guy on the track last weekend. So he's like, I'm going as fast as I can. I can't pass him. So that means, in theory, in 3 weeks, I will be, because last time I did, what I get, 8? So this should mean that I should be in the front of the pack. So hopefully somebody crashes, I get on the podium. I actually feel like I could do it now.
Yeah. Well,
in this lap.
Well, and I know, you're doing the Lucas thing, and then Terracross this summer kicks off, and those are just some insane tracks. I know I was up in Crested Butte a couple of weeks ago, and they let me drive one in winter Terracross, and I ended up rolling it over, but while leading the race.
It's not hard to do, my friend. It's not hard to do at all. Those tracks are pretty gnarly, but like you said, it's just so much fun. They just, I get off a plane and get in the sky, and they're like, "Go for it, dude." I'm like, "Oh my god, really?" And there's just giant moto jumps. I love it.
And I got to ask you, because I know they literally threw you into it. I think it was it a Heydays or something like that in Minnesota? You were in two-wheel drive most of the race, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, they got me. Okay, I show up, and they're like, "That's your car." And I just got in it and started it up and drove off out onto the track in two-wheel drive because somebody had it in two-wheel drive. And I didn't know. I don't know anything about it. My seatbelt didn't fit, and then nobody came over, so I was just like, well, I'll be okay. I'm just going out there to warm up anyway. And it's fishtailing everywhere. And on that track, there was actually like a gap jump. You had to pin it around the corner and jump over the track, or you would land on people that were going under you. So I jumped at first lap, and then second lap I was two-wheel. I rutted it, so I was on two wheels, and I was trying to balance the two wheels and stay on the gas. And once all four wheels hit the ground, sideways, and then I just launched over the gap sideways because I had to keep it pinned. I'm like, I'm not going in the hole. I'm going over the gap. So, yeah, that was and everyone was like, "Hey, you're in two-wheel drive." And I'm like, well, fucking thanks for telling me. But that's what happens when you spoil and you get thrown into stuff because you're one of these lucky assholes. So I don't mind paying my rent. I crashed the other day in Glen Helen. Some dude sideswiped me, and I hit the K-rail and flew off into the freaking track and rode the whole car off. To me, I'm like, these are just reminders of me to me of what it takes to be somebody. If you think you're going to get into motorsports and just get a free ride and start passing everybody, no, Jason. It's never been that way. And it's worth it. I'm going to suck. People want to laugh at me. I'm going to crash. I'm going to get knocked out. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get scared. And then I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to beat somebody and get in the podium and make the greatest acceptance speech you've ever heard in motorsports. Ever.
Well,
for third place.
Well, I got to
for
tell
third
you,
place in the UTV series. I'm going to go off. I might cry.
Well, I got to tell you, they told me I'm racing the Supercross series this year with you, right? And I'm looking forward to that acceptance speech, man. I hope you get on the podium, buddy.
Dude, Supercross might be a different story. Those guys, that track is, I don't know, maybe it'll work out. But last time I was on that track, whoo, I got a long way to go.
Yeah, well, I started talking with him this offseason. They go, yeah, we got Levi LaValle, we got Jeremy McGrath, we got R.J. Anderson. And I'm like, I'm coming over from Trophy Trucks, but I'm like, my God, talk about a stacked field. I mean, that's throwing yourselves to the wolves. Yeah,
no, there's some good dudes in there. But I think the last time I was in, I beat Jesse Johnson. So I don't suck that bad.
No, that's legit to beat Jesse, man. He's got some roots.
That's my buddy. That's the only reason I bring it up. I want him to hear this. Yeah. Fuck you, Jesse. I'm faster than you.
I'll text him and tell him, hey, Jesse Ellis has got something for you,
buddy. Make sure you pass that on.
Oh, I will. I definitely will. I got to ask you, too. I mean, you're talking about all this craziness. I know you and Ken Block are longtime friends. He ever taken you for a ride in the rally car? Because I've been up to his shop and everything else sat in him, but I haven't even had a ride with KB in the car yet.
Yeah, I've been in there. Spinning around sideways. You ain't going that fast. If he took me on a rally, like in a real rally, that would be something I want to see. I just did some fucking cheesy X Games course. I'm like, yay, we're spinning around like assholes. Who cares?
Yeah.
I know when that real speed where I'm like, oh my God, dude. That's what I want to see. Because I've seen video of him out in the dirt rally race, and I'm like, man, that's an impressive thing to do.
Yeah, it's threading the needle through the pine trees and everything else. I think that's that's real driving right there.
Yeah, that's edgy shit, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So what else you got on tap for you, coming up? I know, obviously, you got always got stuff going on, man.
Yeah, well, I got Alice Mania 11 in October 10th. I haven't even announced it on my show yet, but I got that, and I'm trying to do this mini Moto Mania at Star West, just a little starter kit one to see if I can get that to turn into like a moto version of Alice Mania. And then, what else do I do? That's it, man. I really am very fortunate lately. Sirius take care of me these days, so I don't really want to do a bunch of TV. You know what I mean? I like to go to the gym in the morning. I like to do my job, and then come home and hang out with my kids and my girlfriend. And every now and then I'll do the Dr. Drew show, but I really, I'm very appreciative of my fans, my job, but, my family. I'm old enough now. I know what's important. So when I can, which is, at this point, every night I get to see him. I don't get dragged around the country like a lot of other people do to make a buck. So I'm pretty lucky, man. And then just to top it off, I'm a half-ass race car driver. I love it. Fucking love it.
Oh, man. Well, I think that's a good spot to let you go. I know you're hoofing it to a rental car agency. And no,
I got a rental car. That's for my girlfriend. Now I got to pick up my truck.
Oh,
and then, like, in 2 weeks, I'll get my other car back. But, yeah. Great. I love it. I'm on the streets.
Well, I know those boys from Hoonigan got their shop down there, and last time I was down there, they got a bunch of cars stuffed in there and everything else. You should have called Scotto and told
him.
Hey,
man, I'm not going in there to get my electric seats fixed. I don't. When we're talking a raise, then I'll like go to Hoonigan's and get them to put some stuff in my truck. Right now, I just want it to look like it goes.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. I know you're awful busy, and appreciate you coming here on the radio show. And
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely catch up with you. This summer racing some razors, and and hopefully talk to you soon.
I'll see you in San Diego, right? Supercross.
Absolutely, kicking it off in June.
All right, mate. Good looking out.
Take it easy. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
I got to tell you, man, lots of fun with Jason Ellis. Just an awesome dude, and talk about a guy who's just all over the place. I mean, MMA, action sports, still does a little skateboarding, racing some razors. Just a cool dude, and lucky to I've been able to follow his career, and and just stoked. We're finally able to get him on the Down and Dirty Radio show. I listen to his show quite frequently, and just stoked to have Jason on air. I mean, it's a huge deal for me. I mean, a guy I got a ton of respect for, and in the way he's done things, and and always kept it real. I mean, he's done things pretty much on his terms, whether that's right or wrong, from the beginning. And and it's a guy who's been successful doing things his way. So you gotta love that. But right now we're going to take a short commercial break. We come back, we're going to have that interview with Matt Crafton here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razors. So we'll be back in just a minute with Matt Crafton on air.
I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ
RZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Anywhere is possible with General Tire. We're lit up by Rigid Industry, schooled by Dirtfish Rally School, and KMC wheels like no other. Man, talk about a great way to kick off the show. Jason Ellis. Anytime you can get Ellis made on air, it's always a great way to start the day. And, keeping with the theme of things, we're going to roll right into talking some short course. We had both Lucas and Torc in action over the weekend. We're going to get to those results in just a minute, but big news was Matt Crafton coming over from NASCAR trucks, and running Torc. Not his debut in Torc. He's done it a few years back in a Pro 2, but it's been a while, and great to see him in that Chris Kyle Memorial truck. We'll get to those results in a minute, but here is an interview I cut with Matt Crafton late last week, right before he got in the truck. All right, we are now got our next guest on the line, Mr. Matt Crafton. Kind of a little bit different scenery than you're used to there, Matt.
Oh, absolutely. You have to look at the dirt and then look at some jumps and all that stuff in a truck. So really looking forward to it. I mean, should be exciting.
Well, let's talk real quick. I mean, obviously, you're no stranger to trucks, but and actually no stranger to off-road. I know a couple years ago you jumped into a Torc truck, and now we see you back in the series.
Yeah, I ran a couple years ago in Chicago, ran well, and had a blast. I I smiled ear to ear the whole time. So really looking forward to doing it again. And to be able to do it in the memory and for Chris Kyle and KMC and Enzo and all those, it's an honor to be able to get this opportunity to do this.
Yeah, definitely a really cool thing you guys are doing, especially with Chris Kyle. And I know, how did this deal come about? Because I know, previously it was, I think Travis Pastrana kind of set things up for you. This go around, how did everything kind of come together for you?
Yeah, the first time was all about Travis making it, because like I told him, I always said that it was my bucket list to be able to race one of these trucks, and Travis knew some people, did a couple things, and made it happen, and went and raced one of these races a couple years ago. This time, like I said, I guess I ran good enough, and they wanted somebody in it to maybe hopefully bring out some more people in the stands, and I said, and they just called me a couple weeks ago, and it literally came together that fast for me, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I know, obviously things being tied in with Chris Kyle, they've got a big memorial benefit auction coming up in Fort Worth, I think, in a week and a half, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the date I remembered.
All right. Well, let's talk about driving these trucks really quick, because obviously, you've got your background, racing the NASCAR Truck Series. Last go around, I believe you're in a Pro 2. This time, kind of switching things up, running Pro 4. Kind of talk about the differences, because the trucks handle completely different and probably completely different from what you're used to, every weekend.
Oh, absolutely, a lot different than what I'm used to every weekend. But the Pro 2 to Pro 4, I have no idea on the Pro 4 how it's going to handle, because we haven't got to turn a lap. The track was just too muddy today, and they didn't want to, if you're not really going to learn much, and they didn't want to tear up the racetrack for tomorrow evening and Saturday evening. So they called the practice off today, so we're just jumping it and test it out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, getting thrown to the wolves, right?
It's part of it. That's what I get paid for.
Yeah, right. Now that you've been in, obviously this is going to be your second time driving the truck. I mean, anything that carries over from the NASCAR truck side of things into the off road. I mean, last time you drove the Pro 2, was there anything you were able to draw on there?
The only thing that's similar there is it's got 4 tires and a steering wheel and a motor. Besides that, there's no similarities at all. I mean, they're both trucks, and that's about it. But very, very different. The only thing that resembles what I'm used to is something when I go out and play in the desert and in the sand during the winter in Glamis. That's about it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. You've got a buggy. You go out there and play quite a bit in the wintertime, right?
Yeah. I go out to Southern California, a place called Glamis, and we got a Toyota-powered motor in that buggy, and it builds about 900 horsepower, and it is a blast to drive out there in the sand.
Yeah, you ever catch yourself in a bit of trouble out there in the dunes, or you ever put it on its lid?
I have not put it on its lid yet. It came very close. I put other things on the lid, but I'm sure it'll happen sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure. Well, talking about kind of your experiences in dirt, I kind of want to talk, about Eldora, because obviously it's, kind of the event that throws you for a loop on the NASCAR truck schedule. I mean, anything comparable to racing a Torc truck and what you guys do at Eldora, is it still completely different?
I mean, there are similarities, and because out here in the Torc truck, whenever I drove it, I mean, you definitely have to have throttle control and not spinning the tires too much, all that. And same thing is when you go to Eldora, is just try not to overdrive the thing because it's very slippery and you're on dirt. And that's about really the only similarities there is there. But I know we'll have fun at running Eldora in the Camp World Truck Series, and we're going to have a lot of fun here the next couple nights.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of like throwing yourself for a loop, running Eldora, running some off-road trucks. You like shaking it up a bit. You feel like it keeps kind of your driving skills on point?
It's just something I love to do. I mean, if it's got 4 tires and a steering wheel, I mean, I'm all about driving it, without a doubt. I'm a racer, and I go race dirt cars a few times throughout the year. If I can get a ride in something, I'm all about jumping in something and having fun. And I said, I've been a racer all my life. That's all I've ever known is to drive a race car. And so I love it. And I got this opportunity a couple of weeks ago, and I was all about doing it.
Yeah. Well, and I know you've got, I know I was actually talking with the boys from KMC Wheels today, and I know they've been involved in the truck both times you ran it too, I believe. So, it seems like you got some great companies behind you.
Oh, absolutely. I said, looking forward to doing it. I have KMC on the quarter panels of the truck and Chris Kyle on the door. So really, really looking forward to put on a good show this next couple of days.
Yeah. Well, and quick before we let you go, NASCAR obviously, you're the current reigning champion, current points leader. I believe you won at Atlanta earlier this year, right? How's the NASCAR season shaping up for you?
NASCAR season, I can't be much happier, to be totally honest. We've had very, very fast trucks. These Menards Toyota Tundras have been fast out of the box. And we went to Atlanta, and we won that one, and we won in dominating fashion. We went to Martinsville and led a lot of that race, and got beat on a green, white checkered and finished second. But I can't complain because, 2 of the 3 races we went and led laps, and majority of the laps in both of them. So I'm not even complaining there. Just looking forward to going to Kansas here on May 8th.
Yeah, and how have you seen that series evolve over the past? Obviously you've been involved in that series for over 10 years now. I don't want to age you, my friend, but how have you seen that? How have you seen that series kind of evolve?
It is great racing. I remember when it first started in 1995 and watching like the guys that my dad used to race against, the Ron Hornadays, Mike Skinners, and Jack Sprague, and all those guys running. And I always remember thinking, man, I'd love to go race that truck series. And just to watch what they used to do and the shows and how awesome races they put on. And to see, I think that's where the true, like, race fans, hardcore race fans, we'll call them, they love to watch Camp World Truck Series because the races are short enough. You can get it done in 2.5 hours, and we race so hard from green to checkered, and there's not that lull in the racing, and it's been great racing. And each and every week, you always hear people always say it's the best race in a NASCAR, and I truly believe it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. The racing's so close, and you guys drive so hard. It's always exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
So before we let you go, I know you guys are awful busy. You got some rain. You got to get your feet wet in the truck, I guess. But one prediction for this weekend, Torc Series, in Dallas. You're running Pro 4. What's your prediction on the weekend?
Hopefully we can get on the podium. I'd just be very happy with the podium finish, and maybe luck into and be able to race for the win.
Yeah,
that's what I'm out here for.
Yeah, you took a podium last time you raced in Pro 2, right?
Yeah, yep. So hopefully we can better that. And like I said, I'm looking to have fun. That's one of the big things too: run good and have fun.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time for an interview, and good luck this weekend.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much, and look forward to talking to you again.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Bye. All right, awesome catching up with Matt Crafton. A guy who can pretty much drive anything, and not very often we have a NASCAR driver on air, but it's not very often that a NASCAR driver decides they want to go and drive off road. So anytime they do, we try and definitely try and snag them. But here's hoping we see some more guys from the NASCAR side of things come over and try their hand at short course. And I'm talking to you, Jimmy Johnson. I am talking to you. Your brother's got some trucks. We want to see you in a short course truck, man. You've got those roots in short course and desert racing. Me personally, I want to see Jimmy Johnson back. I know, obviously Rusty Wallace. It's super cool that we're going to see him in X Games. In a stadium super truck, and I'm just hoping we see more of these guys, take that up. Speaking of X Games, we do have an entry list so far for stadium super trucks at X Games. It's up on X Games website. But Rusty Wallace, as we said, we got Boris Said, C.J. Greaves, Kyle LeDuc, Jarrett Brooks, Jeremy Stenberg, Scotty Steele, Sheldon Creed, Keegan Kincaid, Gavin Harlan, Lalo Laguna, Abdeli Lopez, Bill Hines, Charles Dorrance, E.J. Viso, Robbie Gordon. Definitely a stacked field there. Mix of desert racers, of action sports guys, of short course racers. Some pavement guys of Boris Said and Rusty Wallace. Definitely going to be in Viso. Definitely going to be a good solid event there at X Games this year. So definitely looking forward to that. But speaking of the Torc event that happened this weekend, we got to get you some of those results. And Pro Light, Pro 2, Pro 4, all in action. Remember, had a rain out for excuse me. Had a rain out for the first day. Just basically had the second Dallas race, but it was very, very good racing. Looking at Pro Light, it was Kyle Hart taking the win. We had Luke Johnson in second. We had Sean Morris third, Travis Dinsmore, and then Cam Ramers finishing out the top 5. Moving over to Pro 4, it was Scott Douglas with a win, Johnny Greaves in second, Mike Jenkins in that third podium spot, and then we had Chad Horde, CJ Greaves in that new Pro 4 truck. He finished up in 5th place. And then moving up to Pro 2, CJ Greaves bringing home that win, Keegan Kincaid in second, Marty Hart that third podium spot, Ari Jr., our boy Ari, just outside of the podium in 4th, and then Nick Tyree finishing up in the 5th spot. So Torc well underway. And great racing action there in Texas. Talk about a great market to have some short course races at. Definitely a great market for off-road racing, and they do have some desert racing organizations there. But Texas, I mean, that's I see that as one of those markets that's the future of short course. I think you're going to see both series putting on events there. I mean, it's just an absolute awesome market for anything off-road. So moving on now, we're going to fast forward into some General Tire coverage of the Lucas Oil Series as well as the General Tire Norra 1000, both going on right now. And skipping over, talking some General Tire Lucas Oil coverage. They were in action in Phoenix at Wild Horse Pass. And we are going to get to some pro buggy and some pro truck class results. Pro buggy, round 3, Chad George, Taylor Atchison, and Darren Hardesty. Those were those were your podium finishers there. And then moving on to round number 4 in Pro Buggy, Dave Mason taking that win, then Garrett George and Kevin McCullough finishing in the 1, 2, 3 in Pro Buggy. Moving on to Pro Light, and I got to say, I'm pretty excited to announce this. Our boy Ryan Beat, my General Tire and Rigid Industries teammate, Ryan Beat bringing home the win. Big victory for Ryan Beat. Tip of the cap to him. Super stoked for him. Then Sheldon Creed in second. Jeremy Twitch Stenberg in third. Solid result for Twitch. Cole Mamer and Gavin Harlian rounding out your top 5. And I do have to mention that Ryan Beat on those new General Tires, that General Tire MT. Stoked to see that tire already dominating. And then we've got Jarrett Brooks, my Rigid teammate, Sheldon Creed, RJ Anderson, Casey Curry, Jeff Hoffman, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Pro Light at round number 4. Moving on to the big boys, Pro 2 and Pro 4. Pro 2, round 3, Rob Mack, the Machine, taking on first, Brian Deegan in second, Jeremy McGrath, a solid podium finish in third, RJ Anderson in fourth, and Rodrigo Ampudia in fifth. Solid result for RJ. I'm gonna have to find out. Did he podium last year? I don't remember, but solid result for RJ one way or another. In his second season in Pro 2, and then round number 4, Pro 2, Patrick Clark, name we don't see very often up there on top of the box. Congrats goes out to him. Bryce Menzies in second. Jeremy McGrath, dual podiums for Showtime there. Then Mayan Speccarelli in fourth, and Sheldon Creed rounding out your top 5 in round 4, Pro 2. Pro 4, and Kyle LeDuc, once again, Sky, an animal, a machine. Can he be beat? Very rarely can he be beat. I think that's your answer. New truck and already dominating in it. This guy is just unbelievable. It's the easiest way to put it. Kyle LeDuc, first place. Bryce Menzies, second. Rob Mack finding his way to the podium. Doug Fortin in fourth. And Eric Barron rounding out your top 5. And then going into round number 4, Pro 4, once again, Kyle LeDuc. No surprise there. Taking home the win. Bryce Menzies, Cara Renazetter, Rob Mack, Greg Adler. That's your top 5. And I got to say, Kyle LeDuc, I'm going to have to do a little research for the next show. But Kyle LeDuc, I'd like to look at the last 3 years in his numbers and like his win percentage. I would be willing to bet in all motorsports. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody with a higher win percentage. I'm just thinking Action Motorsports here. David Higgins comes to mind in Rally America. He's dominated there. Kyle LeDuc, Pro 4 in Lucas. I'm just trying to think, though, of anybody that might be close. Villapoto. Maybe Ryan Villapoto would be up there, but I mean, elite company Kyle LeDuc in, and we're just talking win percentage here, not number of wins, but taking into account how many times they race and how many times they just how many times they win every time, percentage of wins to events entered. And I would say, I'd be willing to say if, you don't count GRC, just count Stage Rally, I'd be willing to say Ken Block might be up there too, as far as win percentage goes, if you throw the GRC stuff out and just talk Stage Rally. But anyways, Kyle LeDuc, elite company where he's at, there in Lucas. It's just an amazing round there in, Wild Horse Pass outside of Phoenix. And, it's congrats goes out to all the winners. And Ryan Beat, man, my boy, congratulations, dude. That's a solid result there. And congrats goes out to General Tire. And don't forget this segment being brought to you by our friends and partners over at General Tire. Definitely check out their new line of tires and check out that new MT. Ryan Beat already winning on it. So the next big thing I would be willing to say. General Tire also got another event going on. Just kind of started the General Tire Mexican 1000, the Norra 1000, brought to you by General Tire. And we're kind of mid-rally. It's Stage Rally, obviously, different days. We'll give you a quick rundown on some of these results. Bikes currently, these aren't going to be 100% current, but this is the most current that I've got. Your bikes, it looks like Mike Johnson, he is out front overall in the bikes in Modern Open. Doug Smith, second overall, first in his class in the 50 over. Two strokes, Matthew Sealer, he is leading two strokes. Looks like Vintage Lights. It's Corky Burley leading, and then in Super Vintage, Rob Uznick is leading in Super Vintage on a Husqvarna. Looking at the car and truck current standings right now, Robbie Gordon in the Gordini, he is out front overall, and then second in a Vintage Open buggy, second overall, first in Vintage Open, Bob Gordon, Pro Unlimited. Walker Evans stepping up, running against Robbie Gordon, trying to take home that $50,000 purse, and he is currently in second behind Robbie Gordon. Greg DiStefano in Pro Unlimited, he is third in Pro Unlimited, fourth overall, and then your top five, Butch Jensen, he is fourth in Pro Unlimited, fifth overall. Looking at Vintage Open Truck SUV, John Gable currently leading the charge there. Buggies with back seats, it's the name of the class. I'm just calling it like I see it. Russell Thompson, he is currently leading there. Vintage Open Buggy, 2.2-liter max, air-cooled only. Bill Hernquist is leading. You got to love these vintage classes. Ron Brandt leading Vintage Open Buggy, 3-liter air. Or 2.5-liter water. Man, talk about some long-winded class names here in the Norra Mexican 1000. Truck SUV with operational hinge doors. Yeah, that class. John Zambi is currently leading there. And then, we got to give Mark Stahl, absolute legend, a little credit. He is currently leading his class, which is Vintage Open Truck and SUV with rear leaf springs. Here's one we can all associate with, though. Leading the UTV side-by-side class in a 2015 Polaris RZR, that is Todd Romano, Tonka Todd. He is leading. Mark Harbor, Vintage Open Truck 4-wheel drive, Open Truck SUV 4.5-liter, Kevin Eastlake. Vintage Modified Volkswagen Sedan, Kent Thigerson. Ultra 4, Don Hatch leading there. Vintage Production Sedans, JT Taylor. Boyd Janes leading short wheelbase 4-wheel drives, pre-78. Open Buggy, Tim Pangborn, 4.5-liter. Vintage Swing Axle Buggy, Mike Erickson and Mike Berkner leading short wheelbase vintage 4-wheel drives. So, that's enough, right? Man, it's a lot of leaders there, though, and the race isn't even over, but got to love those class names Norra has put together. We're so used to seeing Class 1, Class 3, Class 5, Class 7, Norra. Now we're going to give you the full explanation in our class names. So got to love it. That all being brought to you by our good friends at General Tire, dominating the deserts and short course. Definitely check them out on the web, generaltire.com, and check out that new General Tire MT. Super stoked on that tire. Brian Beat already winning with it. I'm going to get a set for my Polaris RZR project. We're getting ready to kick off. Really excited about this new tire by General Tire. But right now, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we got a stacked Dirtfish Rally report with that Chip Ganassi interview plugged into it. Looking forward to that all in just a few minutes when we come back from this short break. So hang on, hang tight, stay tuned. A lot more coming at you. Hour number 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP 1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XD Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XD Series wheels at KMCWheels.com, or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? J-Mar Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, J-Mar can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit J-Mar on the web at jmarperformance.com, or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at J-Mar Brakes.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners, and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, and I have to tell you, we have some epic news just dropping this morning while we are on air. Just got news from our favorite Nitro Circus star and one of my favorite human beings, Miss Jolene Van Vliet. Josh Sheehan has done it at the Pastrana compound. The first ever triple backflip on a dirt bike went down today. Josh Sheehan, the only guy to ever pull it. So big shout out goes out to everybody at Nitro Circus and particularly Josh Sheehan, breaking records. That place, Pastrana Land, is almost mystical. I know I talked about it with Greg Godfrey before, but you go there to break records and become a superhero, and that's literally what it boils down to. We all knew they were going to attempt it. Nobody had any idea if they'd be able to pull it or not, but stoked to say that Josh Sheehan has done the impossible. Triple backflip on a dirt bike went down today. So congrats once again goes out to Josh Sheehan and everybody at Nitro Circus, and thanks to Jolene Van Butte for the heads up. Stoked on that. Maybe we need to reach out to Josh and see if we can get him on air for an interview. I think definitely deserving of it. For sure. But once again, Josh Sheehan, motocross triple backflip. It has been done officially today. And I guess Nitro Circus is going to have the video up later today on their website. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Stay tuned to Nitro Circus for that. And I'll definitely share that on our social media later on today. But big news. So as we kind of get done with that, we're going to roll right into a Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web, www.dirtfish.com. Tentatively looks like I'm going to be at Dirtfish towards the end of June, and chances are there's going to be about 6-7 maybe open cars during my 3-day up there, going up there, and I like to do a little bit of training and get my skills on point, especially with Terracross coming up. So anybody that wants to potentially join me and take the same class as I do up at Dirtfish, you're more than welcome. Shoot me a message on my Facebook page or use the contact form on my website, and I'll give you more details. But tentatively into June maybe. If you're somewhat interested, let me know. I may also have a discount code that I can give you to save you a little bit of time. But it'd be fun to do some training up at Dirtfish with some of the listeners to the radio show. So let me know. Use the contact form or Facebook, and we'll try and set something up if you're tentatively interested, and I'll give you more details, or my people or somebody will. Anyways, Dirtfish Rally Report right now. We've got some WRX, some WRC, and some Rally America coverage. But right now, we're going to cut to a real quick, it's only about 3-4 minutes long, interview I was able to do with Chip Ganassi out at GRC Media Day, talking about their dive into Red Bull Global Rallycross. So here is Chip Ganassi. All right, catching up here with Chip Ganassi, GRC Media Day, and I'm just hearing you rode your dirt bike on the Baja 500 course, man. Man after my own heart.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, that was a year ago right now. We were got down to Mexico for the second or third time in my life. Had a lot of fun, and I was just thinking about that this morning.
Yeah. Well, I found it interesting. He's talking about, obviously you've got IndyCar programs, NASCAR programs, and you were talking about, Supercross because of your time on a bike, and said, this is about the closest thing you can get to that.
It is, and, I got a lot of friends over there in Supercross. I just was with Ryan Dungey a few weeks ago in Atlanta, and saw him win there. That was kind of exciting. And, they ask me all the time, hey, why don't you get involved? And I'd like to, and I really don't know that I have much to bring to it. You know what I mean? Where I think where there are four wheels involved, I think I can bring something to the party, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for here in GRC.
And, obviously, you guys, it's got to be a little bit different for you because your cars is coming over from Europe. A lot of your stuff is built in-house there, and obviously you have great corporate partners, but this is a little bit out of the box. I mean, some of the guys at the shop got to be excited, though, new challenge, right?
No question. I mean, it's you'd be surprised how guys perk up when there's a new challenge on the table. And, we're kind of starting a little bit with one arm behind our back, but we'll be fine here. As the season gets going, I think we'll be fine.
Well, and I know, talking with Steve Arpin, I had him on air a couple of weeks ago, and, he's really excited. Brian Deegan coming in, two guys that can definitely win right out of the box. Got to be pretty exciting for you guys.
That's what we're about, winning, and I'm not interested in – I'm not here to try to lose, I can tell you that. It's to try to win.
Well, and I know, it's funny because talking with Steve, he goes, the only reason I think I got the job is I knocked on the door so long they got tired of hearing me knock and let me in.
That's it. No, I mean, he obviously a talented guy and has all the tools it takes, to be a part of a winning team, a part of an organization. His record speaks for itself.
Well, and, when Ganassi Racing looks at different series to get involved with the different series, obviously, we all know the strengths and weaknesses of NASCAR and IndyCar. I mean, what appealed about Red Bull GRC to you guys to jump in with both feet and field a two-car effort?
Yeah, I mean, just really start off with the format. We like the format. I mean, I like the close circuits, the small circuits, easy to view, easy to televise. I think that's what these fans want today. They want ease of entry, ease of viewing. They want amenities when they're at the racetrack, and GRC brings a lot of that with it.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time for a short interview, and thanks for having you involved in the series.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. All right, short and sweet with Chip Ganassi, but short and sweet anytime you can get a living legend of motorsports, even for 3 to 4 minutes, you absolutely take him up on the offer. But Ganassi Racing, two-car effort, Red Bull GRC. We've covered it before, but kind of cool to be able to get the man, the myth, the legend on air to talk about it. And speaking of rallycross, going to switch gears, talk a little FIA World Rallycross real quick. And I just got to tell you before we get into that, my mind's blown. Josh Sheehan, motocross triple backflip. I mean, seriously, it was just a few years ago. Guys were having a hard time pulling a single, and then Pastrana goes and he pulls the double, and that was like suicide. And now we're doing triples. I mean, to me, it's just mind blown this morning. Mind absolutely blown. I can't wait to see that video. But once again, congrats goes out to Josh Sheehan, everybody at Nitro Circus for making the impossible possible. That's pretty much it. It's crazy. But we're going to get back to some more Dirtfish Rally Report. But I just had to do that because I'm sitting here like seriously floating on air. That's huge news. But WRX FIA World Rallycross kicking things off. And it was definitely a crazy event. It's easiest way to put it. It's Portugal kicking things off with the World Rallycross Championship, and Johan Kristoffersson walking away with the win in the final. Petter Solberg in second, Timmy Hansen third, Davy Janey fourth, Backerud, our boy Backerud Blue, in fifth, and Per Gunner in sixth. The way they work points, though, you get points throughout the event. Solberg and Kristoffersson both tied with 27 points now after round one. Timmy Hansen in second, in third with 24, and then our boy Backerud, 21 points in fourth, Davy Janey sitting in fifth. So WRX, it is underway, World Rallycross Championship underway officially. And the other rally series that has been underway for quite some time, World Rally Championship, they were in action over the weekend. And Chris Meek, a surprise win in the Citroen, coming away with a victory. Mads Osberg finishing up in 7. We had Evans, then Prokop, then Sordo rounding out your top 5. I know. You guys are wondering where the heck is Sebastian Ogier. Where is Sebastian at? Well, he was down there in 17th position, struggling, having some problems. I know he did take a stage win at one point, but having some problems and way down there in 17th position. But the overall championship picture. After Argentina this weekend, Sebastian's still out front with 84 points. Mads Osberg in that second spot, 51. Then we got Andreas Mikkelsen in third, scoring. He is currently sitting in third. Elfin Evans in fourth, and then Chris Meek jumping up to fifth place. So Sebastian with a legitimate lead over Osberg in second. So even the struggles there at Argentina did not affect him too bad in that championship hunt. Next up is Rally de Portugal for the WRC. So we'll definitely have full coverage of that as we get closer. Moving on, though, the big one that I was at this weekend, Rally America Oregon Trail Rally, the only 3-day event on the Rally America calendar. Starts off, it's, those of you that tuned into Rally America Radio, much appreciated. We've got some great coverage of Rally America going on there with Rally America Radio. But, this is vastly different. These guys, they run a lot of tarmac on day one at Portland International Raceway, thanks to all the fans that came out. Then move on to day two. It's more wide open nature, kind of rolling country type roads. Of day number 2, and then day 3, it's tight, twisty, technical, in the trees, and definitely makes for an interesting rally. And as you listeners from Rally America Radio know, it's definitely it challenged you, a driver, because you got to bring so many different skill sets in to win. David Higgins ultimately walking away with the open class victory over Adam Yeoman in second, but it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns for David Higgins over the weekend. The Subaru team having some struggles early Saturday with that 2015 WRX. And Adam Yeoman at one point actually took a couple of stage victories away from David Higgins. Things got very close within like 20 seconds of each other. I guess the Subaru team pulling an engine, swapping it out for Sundays, getting back on point, and then ended up taking the victory. But Adam Yeoman, an absolute amazing effort for the FY Racing team, and Adam Yeoman in second. Those guys definitely deserve a tip of the cap. I think Adam Yeoman is a driver, maturing a lot, and he found a new gear I don't think he had. So it's got me excited for the rest of the 2015 Rally America season. Another surprise entry, third in open. Not a surprise entry, but a surprise finish. Third in the open class, third overall. George Plasek. In the Mitsubishi, bringing home that third place finish. So big congrats goes out to him. And then my favorite Polish driver, Peter Fatella, finishing up fourth overall, fifth in overall, and first in super production. Lachlan O'Sullivan. He had a great battle going on with Nick Roberts. Nick Roberts ended up ultimately having some terminal engine damage and knocking him out of the rally. So we definitely got a shootout for the points in super production. Gary Gill, Lachlan O'Sullivan, Nick Roberts, three-way battle there for the championship. Looking farther down the list, our boy Brenton Kelly, one of our guests last week, he finished up in fifth in open, sixth overall, first in two-wheel drive, seventh overall. Great effort. Troy Miller in the Ford, and then James Robinson in a B-Spec Honda, second in two-wheel drive, first in B-Spec, eighth overall. James Robinson, great effort by James in the Honda Fit. Art Grushka, brand new car, finishing up ninth overall, sixth in open, and then Gary Gill rounding out your top 10 overall, second in super production. He was right there in 10th. Other notables, we had Steve LaRosa in 11th, second in two-wheel drive in the Ford Fiesta ST, former Desert Racer turned rally driver, and a good friend of mine. We'll give him a shout out there. Brand new car for Cameron Steele. Troubles, ultimately a DNF. Bummed to see that. Chris Duplessis in the Subaru BRZ. I know everybody was interested to see how he was going to do. Him and Troy Miller having a great battle. That BRZ lightning quick, I believe 155 miles an hour top speed. He ended up having terminal damage, DNF. He'll be back at Olympus Rally in a few weeks though. And David Sterks, he was battling Higgins and Yeoman up there for a podium spot and throwing down some quick times. He ended up having troubles as well. So definitely a bummer for those guys, but a great event event all in all at the Oregon Trail Rally. Next up for Rally America is the Olympus Rally in May. And once again, thanks to all of you for tuned in to Rally America Radio. Definitely have more Rally America Radio coming at you at all the Rally America rounds this year. So that has been your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And as we leave the Dirtfish Rally Report, we got a ton of stuff to talk about yet this this show, man. We got lots of coverage coming up. I mean, it's been a great show, man. Talk about cramming a lot into one show, and that's what we're doing here today. But right now, we're going to cut to a quick interview with Clifton Wayne of the Down and Dirty Clothing Company, somebody that I don't know, we followed each other on social media for quite a while, and he reached out to me and kind of talked back and forth, and it's kind of interesting when you share a brand name with somebody, and both of us actually in our own right have trademarks on Down and Dirty. It's just interesting. I know it's kind of one of those things like Jim Beaver, the actor. He and I have got to know each other. And you've seen him on Deadwood and I think Supernatural and various other TV shows. And just funny when you share a name, you get to know these people. And Jim Beaver, an absolute amazing actor. And we laugh because now I'm in doing media work and a little bit of TV and a lot of radio and some announcing and stuff like that. And so now, I think Internet Movie Database, IMDb, you punch in Jim Beaver and not only he comes up, I pop up as well. So just kind of interesting the way things are. And, it's not often you share a name with somebody. And we got together and recorded a quick interview, talks a little bit about the company and kind of how they came up with that name. I know how I did, but kind of how they did. So here's Clifton Wayne with the Down and Dirty Clothing Company. All right, I'd like to welcome our next guest to the line, somebody with a brand a little bit similar to mine, Mr. Clifton Wayne with the Down and Dirty Clothing Company. I know you listeners are going, Down and Dirty Clothing Company. That's right. Clifton and I don't know, we've been following each other on social media for a while back and forth and decided probably be a good time to get you on air and talk some Down and Dirty, right?
Yeah, man.
So, tell us a little bit, Down and Dirty Clothing Company. I mean, kind of tell us a little background on the name and, and how you came up with the name. Because I know listeners kind of understand how I came up with the name. How did you guys get a hold of that name?
Well, it was kind of an accidental deal. We have a sister company, Down and Dirty Mobile Detail, and that's kind of sort of what happened. We got some inventory together, and we did really well. 6 hours the first day, we sold out. So we thought, maybe we should check this out, see where this goes. So we kind of just threw it all in and went from there. And, we've been trucking, we've been trying to move forward since 2010. It's definitely not easy. There's definitely no instruction manual for how this is going together, for sure.
Yeah, I know clothing definitely a tough market to push into, but you guys have been around since 2010. I mean, you've been around a lot longer than a lot of them, man. I've seen them come and go and drop like flies, but says something for 5 years. You guys are still pushing.
Yeah, we're trying. We're doing pretty good. About 2000. Let's see, 2000. I think probably 2013. I brought in my vice president, Bridget Rucker. She's our head graphic designer. So ever since we brought her in and made things, made things official, we've been doing really well. Our designs are pretty much on point. It's fun. We have, we're learning as we go, and we've got some pretty good names with us now. We've got Dan Pastor, formerly for Metal Militia, with us now, and that's a pretty big deal. He's a FMX freestyle gold medalist and world champ, ex-world champ. And so we got Justin Johansson. He's also doing FMX freestyle for us. Then we got Nate Winkles. He's doing some surfing for us, and so we got Hope Vision sunglasses. We're endorsed by them, and we're doing pretty good. Things are definitely on the rise for sure. But we're always looking for new people to get involved with.
Yeah,
Nico helmets as well. We're trying. Like I said, we're trying. We just there's no instruction manual for this, so we're just kind of like running blind in the dark sometimes.
Yeah, well, and talking about that, I mean, a guy like Dan Pastor, just throwing that name out there. Geez, I mean, he's legit as far as FMX goes. I mean, this guy's goes way back, and definitely a guy that good to represent the brand.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of an accidental meeting when we got together. One of our old guys that used to ride FMX for us introduced me to Dan, and we kind of just went from there. He was talking about wanting to get away from some of his other people, and we were kind of just, so basically what we're trying to do is, we're trying to get, trying to basically get this thing going, the rebirth of Fantaster. We're trying to get some stuff going. We just picked up a new bike. So we're trying to get his, graphics packaged together and get some stuff going that way. And, it's definitely an interesting situation when you have somebody like him on the team, because it definitely brings a definite big light to the situation. So, man, it makes us look real good, and we appreciate the hell out of that for sure.
Yeah, well, and, talking about the brand, I've, checked out the clothes quite a bit. And, I mean, obviously you got a full line men's and women's. I mean, you guys have some pretty cool stuff. I mean, it's the stuff, some of these companies get pretty crazy with their designs. And, checking your stuff out, I mean, it's kind of back to the basics feel. And, I mean, you got some legit flannels and your hoodies, your hats, everything. It's nothing crazy. It's stuff that people would want to wear,
Yeah, that's the whole point. We didn't want to get all disco. We definitely wanted to get away from that and kind of get back to the basics. We've got some really good people doing our screen printing. We have BG Concepts out of the Bay Area, and we got Stitch Tech Designs that are doing our embroidery stuff. And we became a dealer distributor for our garment suppliers too, and that kind of helps out on the bill department a little bit when it's a little cheaper. We can kind of make things a little easier to function. But it's definitely coming along, and we're moving forward. We've got a bunch of irons in the fire, and things are moving forward. It's just we're always looking for that next bright spot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, tell me a little bit. I know you guys always use the hashtag Dirty Army, and Dirty Army is a big part of the brand. Tell me a little bit about what the Dirty Army is.
Well, we kind of, this is going to be kind of funny. This kind of sort of correlates with Dan Pastor being involved with some of his former people. When I first started this thing back in 2010, we had a direction, and I thought, if Metal Militia is going to have the Metal Militia, we're going to have the Dirty Army, and we kind of just started saying it, and it stuck, and so we trademarked the slogan, and so we kind of sort of own that deal. It's been definitely fun. We've had some people we had to remind to cease and desist, because it definitely was a cool catchphrase, but when you come up with something cool, you got to run down to the trademark building quick.
Yeah, I totally get that, man, for sure. So you tell us a little bit, how's the brand grown? I mean, you guys doing pretty well. I mean, how's the reception been from the fans?
Well, I mean, from a customer's perspective, sometimes we have our little problems that everybody else does, but we did everything backwards. This wasn't something that we wasn't really a plan. We just kind of had a pocket full of money and just ran for it. And, we definitely took our lumps for sure. I mean, there's a lot of things, and I would have, to do something twice, I would have definitely done a couple things different. But, you learn as you go, and, we're growing all the time. We're growing different spots, and, we're just like any other company. We have our growing pains, and sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down, and it is what it is. We're just trying to survive, and, we're definitely targeting blue-collar America, too. So, we're trying to, keep we're not trying to get so big that we forget our roots and forget where we came from. I don't want to be, there's a couple other companies out there that are, catering towards a particular audience. Our audience, I'd like to say our audience is the world, I definitely don't want to segregate people.
Yeah, for sure. So, give me kind of your vision. I mean, what's down the road for you guys, year out, 2 years out, 3 years out? I mean, where would you like to go?
Well, now that we have the web store up, that's been pretty good. That's getting better every day. The ultimate goal is to open up our own store, and then pretty much we're trying to get with a couple other people. I don't want to mention any names just yet, but we're trying to get up with some other big name brands, because ultimately the ultimate goal is to have Open Vision sunglasses as our sunglass distributor. They're going to supply us with that, and then we're talking to some shoe suppliers, and then of course, Down and Dirty Clothing Company, we supply the gear, and people can come in, pretty much and shop, in person versus online, and we'll open up the one store, and if it does well, then we'll just keep on opening them till we can't anymore. I guess we keep on going. That's the deal.
Yeah, for sure. So, let people know where can they find out a little bit more info, on the company, where they can find the products, and find you guys on social media.
Yeah, we're actually downdirtyclothingcompany.com, and then we're on, of course, Facebook, Down Dirty Clothing Co., Instagram, Down Dirty Clothing Company as well. We're also on LinkedIn as well. We're out there, pretty much if you just start typing it in, Down and Dirty, I mean, they're either going to find us or you.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that's kind of how the first thing I did is run Down and Dirty, and, and it's you and I pop up on the top of the list, so I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. That's definitely part of the reason why I was so curious. If there's something we can do, at least get a buzz going somewhere.
Yeah, For sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll definitely get some plugs out there on social media for you guys.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate you having us on.
All right, thanks a lot, Clifton.
All right, take it easy, bud. Have a good day.
All right, that was Clifton Wayne with the Down and Dirty Clothing Company. Yeah, they're all over Facebook, and just punch in Down and Dirty, and it'll pull right up, like you said, either me or him. But it's been a solid show so far. Obviously, Chip Ganassi, Matt Crafton, Jason Ellis. We talked a little bit of short course, some Norra, some rally. It's been pretty exciting so far, but we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to have some Supercross coverage. I know I'm going at it alone today. No Amy Hood calling in, but we will definitely have some KMC Wheels Supercross coverage when we come back from this commercial break. So stay tuned to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners, and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Did you know that Parker Motor Company is one of the best places to shop for new tires for your car or truck? With a full tire shop and advanced equipment, we can outfit your vehicle with over 13 brands of tires, including Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Yokohama, Falcon, and General. We offer a low price guarantee that will meet or beat any competitor's price. We'll check your alignment for free, and we also offer tire care for any road hazards you may come across. If you need new tires, Parker Motor Company is your only choice. Parker Motor Company, your hometown Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States. Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com. Looking to have some screen printing, embroidery, or design work done? Intense Tees has you covered. Intense Tees provides the highest quality and detail for custom screen printing and embroidery services for corporations, schools, race teams, and all organizations alike. Complete line creation including designing of an entire corporate identity, product line creation, support promotions, product packaging, exciting banners, polos, tees, sweatshirts, caps, and vinyl decals. Intense Tees is the official apparel provider for the Down and Dirty Off-Road Show. Find out more on the web at www.intensetees.com. That's www.intensetees.com.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle. Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. And, man, talk about a banger of a show today. Jason Ellis, Matt Crafton, Chip Ganassi. I don't know if you can get much better than that, but we will definitely try. It's been great. A ton of results, tons to talk about. And we're going to get some KMC Wheel Supercross coverage in just a minute by myself. But once in a while, something in my personal life happens that it's so nutty, absolutely so crazy, I have to tell you guys about it. And that happened last night. I literally went nuts on a pharmacist at the local Walmart pharmacy. So later on in life, I've never had allergies in my entire life. Never had allergies. I was the only one in my family to escape allergies, and I kind of laughed at everybody as they're suffering through these spring months. So somehow this year, I all of a sudden developed allergies, right? I've gone through every over-the-counter medication you can think of, and nothing helped my allergies until I found Claritin D. Okay, well, Claritin D is the same crap that the meth addicts use to cook meth, I guess. I don't know much about meth. I just know that I got to sign my life away to get Claritin D, and they tell me it's because a bunch of people have experimented with meth and decide that you can cook meth with Claritin D. I don't know, whatever. At this point, I don't care what you put in your meth. I've heard bleach and everything else. So whatever, you can kill yourself with whatever you want. I don't care. So all I care about is my allergies. So I go, I've been getting this stuff, and they come in, they'll only give you 15 pills at a time because I guess they don't want you to buy in bulk because they're scared you're going to make meth. Well, you guys have seen me. I post enough pictures on the internet. Do I look like a meth dealer? Do I look like a meth addict? Probably not. I'm not saying I look like much. I'm just saying I don't look like your prototypical meth head or meth cooker or meth distributor or anything regarding methamphetamines. So I go in there to get my regular 15-day dose of Claritin D, and they got to put in my ID like they normally do. Supposedly, in some federal government system somewhere, the flags get raised that Jim Beaver has bought too much Claritin D in a 30-day period, and they refused to sell me allergy medication. Literally, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I literally in my entire life have only ever bought 45 pills of this stuff, and it just so happens that all 45 pills have been in the last 45 days. If you look at my record, literally, I get enough for one pill a day. It's a 24-hour dose. Stuff keeps everything in check, right? I went nuts. I called him every four-letter word in the book. If you can get evicted from a Walmart, I was about as close as you possibly can. I let the pharmacist have it. I let the lady at the counter have it. I let everybody at the cash registers have it on my way out. Absolutely, utterly ridiculous that a man with allergies that doesn't, I don't have scabs on my body. I don't itch. I don't have needle marks. I don't have anything. You've seen me. If anything, I weigh too much to be a meth addict. Do I look like skin and bones? No, I probably ought to take this stuff up to lose a few pounds. But they refuse to sell me meth. No, they refuse to sell me Claritin D. So there you go. I am officially in the U.S. government system, and I am no longer allowed to buy allergy medication. So there you go. I'm TSA pre-check. I can fly without going through security, but I can't buy allergy medication at the local pharmacy. There is something wrong in this country when that's the case. So would somebody please bring me some Claritin D, because after tomorrow I got no more pills. I'm an allergy medication addict, and I need my pills, and they won't sell them to me. So there you go. I need somebody to buy me some Claritin D. So I'm going to send my wife to the store for the next 30 days so she can buy me some Claritin D, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to pull up a flag that says she's bought too much and she's going to be in the system too. You know what? There's something screwy going on here, and I don't know. They're going to make pot legal in this country. You can buy pot, but you can't buy allergy medication. We have issues. So anyways, rant over. We're going to get to some KMC Wheels Supercross coverage. KMC Wheels Supercross coverage, I got to tell you, it's little surprising on the 450 side, not necessarily on the 250 side. My apologies, because I've only been able to catch up with some recaps as I was in Oregon taking in an epic stage rally up there. But 250 results, Marvin Muskeen, the boy, continued his mission, and he took the win there. Justin Bogle in second, got the whole shot. Led 10 laps, got passed by Marvin, and finished up in second. Joey Savacci finishing up in third. We got Jeremy Martin in fourth. R.J. Hampshire rounding out your top five. So your point standings at this point, does it even matter? Really, I mean, does it really matter at this point? It's all Marvin. I guess, it's all Marvin. That's all there is to it. I think he's what are we looking at here? 2 points. He needs to get 1 or 2 points at Vegas to lock in the title, I believe. It's pretty much a lock. It's all Marvin. He may have clinched. I don't know. I didn't read the news. There might be some mathematical situation where he's already clinched. I apologize. I haven't been able to study up as much as I should, but it's all Marvin at this point. So congrats goes out to Marvin on this championship. It's going to take a miracle for him to be caught at this point, but the boy deserves it. He's been on point all year long, and I can't wait. I really can't wait for that 250 East versus West shootout. That's, to me, is going to be the race of the year because, looking at the 450s, it's all been Ryan Dungey. Ryan Dungey, though, did finish in second, and he didn't even lead a lap, so go figure, but he's got the championship locked up. Tomac taking the win, Dungey second, Seeley third, Baggett, Short, Tickle. I will say that Andrew Short did get that whole shot, and then seventh was Josh Grant, Kyle Chisholm, Jason Anderson, Weston Pike continuing to bring in those top 10s. So congrats goes out to Eli Tomac. And then your point standings, 450 point standings. It is all Dungey. He's got it on lockdown. Tomac in second, then Seeley. Then we've got Reed, Baggett, Kennard, Anderson, Tickle Short, Kenny Roxon still hanging out in the top 10 there. So it's I don't know at this point. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's all Dungey, pretty much all the championship locked up. Cooper Webb, he's got it nailed down in 250 West, 250 East. It's going to take a miracle for Marvin not to walk away with that one. So to me, I want to see Cooper Webb and Marvin battle it out, 250 East-West shootout. That's what I'm looking forward to in Vegas coming up. I think that is the big storyline because everything else, everybody's got it on lockdown for the most part. So there you go. That is kind of your Supercross coverage. I mean, I don't have a lot for you guys. It is, we're winding things down. Vegas coming up this weekend. I know Amy Hood, she's going to be on ground in Vegas this weekend. She's got a video dropping at some point soon. But I got to tell you, we do have a shootout going on for the KMC Wheels Fantasy Supercross Challenge. It's going down to the wire. We got one round left, and I got to, we'll definitely have big announcements over who wins next week. We got a set of KMC Wheels on the line for that championship. And I got to, I honestly, I just got to give a shout out to all you fans and listeners of this radio show. I approached KMC Wheels about that, the Fantasy Supercross Challenge, at the end of last year, got Amy Hood involved with it. And then go figure, Amy, she becomes full-time on the show because you guys liked her so much. Just a raving success. We've had 350 people play KMC Wheels Fantasy Supercross. It's just it's been epic all year long. A lot of us, me included, we fell out of grace mid-season, and actually after week 1, I was 13th. I was like, all right, I'm in this, and week 2 rolls around and I'm done. It was from then on, it was just game over for me, man. You guys have eaten me for lunch this year, and a lot of people I thought were experts absolutely definitely didn't do real well on the KMC Wheels Fantasy Supercross Challenge. It definitely takes you got to be on point all week long to make sure your rider lineups are good, nobody's injured, everybody's racing, know the tracks, know the storylines, for sure. So whoever walks away with that set of KMC Wheels, I got to tell you, your Supercross, because a lot of us that thought we knew, we have definitely fizzled out and died. But you guys have been on point. You've kept plugging away, and you guys are earning that set of wheels. Whoever walks away with it, definitely got to give credit to that. We got motocross coming up mid-month. We're going to kick things off with motocross mid-month, and sounds like I think Kenny Roxon, he's possibly going to be back in action for motocross, and it's going to be a good shootout there. Looking forward to motocross season, and we get to re-rack everything, restart over, and Dungey gets to start from scratch, and I think that's what everybody's looking forward to, man. We got another points battle gonna start up, right? So. But Supercross been an exciting year. It really has, especially in the 450s. Roxon and Dungey had that battle. Obviously, Dungey down the home stretch, he put it all together, and and ended up just walking away with it. But it didn't start the season that way. And you can go back, and I'll be honest, man, there was a little bit of trash talking about Ryan Dungey going on, and how he was always just settled for podiums and didn't push and stuff like that. And when push came to shove, the boy turned it up a notch and did what he had to do, walked away with a ton of wins, and he definitely, you look at the all-time wins list, Ryan Dungey's up there with some elite names. And you look at some of the best guys ever to step on a Supercross bike or on a motocross bike. It's definitely Ryan Dungey on the short list. Guys like Chad Reed. We can't leave out James Stewart, McGrath, Ricky Johnson. Ricky Carmichael. I mean, he's on the short list. Villapoto. Dungey definitely has earned his place atop the greatest motocross riders ever to live, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that at this point. The guy is definitely this year, to me, he cemented his legacy, if that makes any sense. So big congrats goes out to Dungey, obviously Cooper Webb, and then Marvin, who looks like it's going to take an act of God for him not to win the championship at this point. So there you go. That is your KMC Wheels Supercross coverage for this week, brought to you by KMC Wheels, and we've also got that Fantasy Supercross Challenge going on, winding down. We'll announce a winner next week, but thanks to all you who have played. Thanks to KMC Wheels for giving a wheel set away, and it's definitely been fun, and we're definitely going to do that again next year. Some interesting notes as we kind of wind down this Tuesday edition of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. 2016 Dakar Rally route has been announced. The route actually dropping today. Encompasses 3 countries, starting things off in Peru, moving to Bolivia and Argentina, where things wrap up. It's going to be 13 stages long. And I got to tell you, looking at the route, I mean, you've got everything from some super high elevations. You've got deserts, dunes, and mountains. You got to love the Dakar Rally. I mean, it's truly is just, to me, it's remarkable that they get this thing to go every year. I can only imagine not only the logistics but the politics involved in running across 3 different countries, and all these stages through the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's the politics. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know what it takes to put on a Baja event, but I can only guess at what Roger Norman and what Sal Fish did, and big props to Sal Fish for laying the groundwork for everything for years. And then I know what Casey Folks, I know what he goes through here in the States to put on events, and it's not easy, trust me, with the government agencies and entities, and I've sat in those meetings and stuff like that, and I can only think that Dakar is all of that. And it's on steroids. I mean, it's up there. Just it's got to be next to impossible to put this on. And thinking back, when they switched from Africa, I think Africa was a little more of like a free-for-all. I don't think there was as much there's obviously politics involved, but I'm sure permitting and stuff like that, it was pretty wide open. But moving the event, continents, cross continents, and then redeveloping all those relationships, that had to have been just an astronomical undertaking for the guys that put on the Dakar Rally. It truly is, and you think about that. You think about these teams. You hear about Robbie Gordon on air. We've had the El Martillo guys on air. We've had Arciero. We've had all these guys that have raced Dakar before come on air and talk about the logistics of fielding a team and everything that goes into it. Then you think about the organization. So if it's that hard for these guys to put on, if it's that hard for these guys to field a one-team effort at Dakar, can you imagine Dakar having to lay the route, all the groundwork for all these teams, and then make sure all the teams, have what they need to run? And, you talk about just a logistical nightmare. I wouldn't want their job. Absolutely not. But, it's, just for the guys at Race Desert to do media from the event, it was a huge undertaking. So, go figure on actually putting on the event. So, Dakar route has been released. It's all over Dakar's social media and their website at this point. You want to see the map, just skip over there. I'm not going to give you a rundown of the stages or anything, but definitely looking forward to Dakar and seeing that Gordini back in action. Upcoming events, big one, Vegas, Supercross. Also got Endurocross this weekend from Vegas. Silver State 300, Best of the Desert. Man, it's all going down in this weekend in Vegas. Silver State 300 for Best in the Desert. Supercross, Endurocross, Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. I've heard of for the Roach motels, they're getting $500 a night. I can only imagine staying at the Bellagio or MGM or one of those, what they're charging. But, man, I mean, talk about 4 major events, one city, over the course of one weekend. I guess I would tell you to go to Vegas if you want some excitement this weekend, but I don't think any of us could afford to at this point. So, there you go. But, that all going down this weekend. Got to give a big shout-out to Polaris Razor, General Tire, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish Rally School, UPR.com, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Wakeboard Island, JMR Performance Brakes, KMC Wheels, Parker Motor Company, Gibson Exhaust, Intense Tees, and MTX Audio, the official audio partner of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Also, big shout-out to Jason Ellis. Got to give a shout-out to Matt Crafton, Clifton Wayne, Chip Ganassi, and big shout-out to my friend Chris Leone at Red Bull GRC for helping set that up. And then, as always, Amy Hood should be back in action with me next week for sure. We'll be talking some Supercross wrap-up, some motocross, and she's got some good stories to tell, let me tell you. Be watching for her video to drop this week. Give me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/DownandDirtyShow or DownandDirtyShow.com for all the back episodes. And I got to mention, I am on Periscope now. Actually, did a live stream on Periscope while we were on air today. So download Periscope. It's at JimBeaver15. Give me a follow. It's a new social media platform taking off where you live stream videos. So I'll be toying with it. No promises on what's going to pop up there, but definitely going to be worth the follow. And definitely download our app if you haven't already. Available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store. Thanks to all of you for tuning in, just as you do each and every week. We couldn't do it without you. You guys are the ones that you guys are the ones that make this show happen. I lost my train of thought there, though. But, you guys always tell me, hey, we want this guest on air. And you guys literally, I do this for you guys. So if you want somebody on air, definitely let me know, and we'll do our best. But it's definitely a fun show. It's been a heck of a ride, and and anytime you can get a guy like Jason Ellis on air, I guess you're doing something right. I don't know how I got in this situation, but we're here to stay. So thanks to all of you for listening in. We'll be back next week. Got some great guests lining up over the next couple of weeks. So appreciate all you for listening in, and thanks to all our guests today. And big weekend for motorsports, so definitely be in front of your computers, in front of your TV. It's going to be an exciting one. As always, we'll see you next week, and game on.